So now in our interview segment for tonight, we spoke with Volker Moser. He's the managing partner of a company called City Compass. Mr. Volker found himself in Romania, maybe like many expats do here, accompanying a spouse and eager to explore opportunities. He knows firsthand what it feels like to arrive not knowing the city, the country, or the business environment. And perhaps that's why he chose to lead a company that explains all that to other newcomers, to other expats. So with several services to offer, City Compass provides guidance, introductions, explanations, and other things for those of us who land at Otopeni Airport and begin to call Romania home. Essentially, he's an expat for expats. And we sat down to talk to him about the issues that expats face here and what he's doing to help. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming here, Peter.
Well, now, you're in an interesting and kind of a particular position, being an expat, working in a business for expats, and trying to understand the expat community and reach them. So tell us a little bit to begin with how you ended up with the City Compass, with your other consulting business, how you ended up here, and how the businesses got started.
Well, that's a lot. That's a big question.
Okay.
Well, how did I come here? Actually, I was working in Germany. I was working for Free University Berlin. And I was working in a joint project with the Diplomatic School of Russia as a project coordinator doing two study programs, German-Russian study programs. And I discovered the Russian culture, the business culture there a little bit, and I thought it was amazing. It was so much more different than what I had seen before. And then at the same time, my wife had an offer to come to Romania, working for a political foundation. And then I said, okay, now after the Russians, I would like to see a new Eastern European country. So
this was about 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago, yes.
Right,
that was in November 2007. And yeah, in the beginning of 2008, I said, okay, I see all the people do very interesting things in Romania, and I need to do something like that too. So I said, okay, why don't you discover new things and try to do things you've never done before? And yeah, like fate sometimes hits you, I met my now partner and former boss, Christian Bizot, in a pub. It was an English-speaking round table, so to say, and he said, hey, I have a company, I'm doing consulting for foreigners that do business in Romania. I'm still looking for a foreigner because business is growing, and I would like somebody to help me, first of all, selling consulting and accounting services, plus helping me restructuring internally a little bit because I'm growing so fast. I was like, well, this is exactly what I also partially studied at the university, and why not to do that? So I started working for him in April 2008. Yeah, we were growing. We employed like one employee each week, so it was really about structuring a lot. And yeah, and then we got along well. We built up trust, and yeah, in July 2008, together with my friend and other business partner, Christian Pauls, we founded the company, or back then it was a project, City Compass, because well, the background was.
And well, explain what that does, what the business is.
We try to help foreigners adapt to Romania, to feel at home in Bucharest.
Is that possible?
Yes,
no,
it is possible.
That was a joke. Sorry.
You should know, Peter.
No, I feel at home. I do feel.
No, the idea evolved because I said, okay, Christian, actually he was the first one I met, and I'm really grateful still for that he helped me in the beginning. So I met him through an online platform, and then and he helped me in the beginning, and then 6 months later I said, okay, in the beginning we really didn't like it a lot here, and now I love it. And he said, well, the same happened to me too. And then we said, well, what is the difference now? The difference is now we know people, now we know where to go, now we know how to appreciate the beautiful architecture and what Bucharest actually gives you if you try to abort it with an open mind, to approach it with an open mind. And then we said, okay, why don't we do a project together with Christian, because obviously you always need a Romanian to do business here. That's what we thought, and I think it was a good idea. Why don't we try to develop all kinds of services we would have needed upon our arrival? Meaning,
like what?
Like a city tour, in an open format, meaning newcomers can come to the newcomers that come to Bucharest are able to, first of all, discover the city walking, because with the traffic it's kind of hard, to get to know each other, to share experiences and to get practical hints about what to do, where to do your laundry, and where to take guests, where's a nice new coffee shop. Yeah.
Well, you know, expat is a label, obviously, that fits thousands of people here. Yes. But it's not a homogeneous group, even though it's a single, easy-to-say label. How do you reach the expat community? They don't congregate in any one club, let's say, or country club or restaurant.
No, actually it's a lot more diverse than you would think. Well, obviously there are the institutions like the Chambers of Commerce, like the International Women Association. But I would say reaching the expats, is like on the one hand, you can try to do that online, which helped me a lot personally. For example, that round table I was just talking about, where I met Christian, my partner, was online organized. It was an online meetup community. So there are different ones. Then you have you have some expat restaurants. You told me earlier that you saw our guide somewhere in a restaurant. So there are, I mean, you can identify probably 15, 20 places where expats usually like to go, like English-speaking bookshops or stuff like that.
What are the biggest surprises you've found here working with the expat community and having products for expats?
Well, the biggest surprises were that there are a lot of expats that actually do not share a lot of experiences. I mean, meaning they need assistance. And there are some other expats that are doing perfectly fine here because they're already used to exploring the city and they want to do their individual own thing. But I would say a majority of the expats, and especially the family members, sometimes live apart and are afraid. And I think the city, I feel safer than in Berlin, for example, in Bucharest. But yes, a majority of the expat family members needs assistance, and or at least can use parts of our assistance. For example, when we started to launch our newsletter for expats, it's a newsletter about social and cultural events we issue monthly. People were just signing up like crazy, and it's still going like this because they would like to know what's going on, and there is so much culture, and there are so much social networks and meetups in the city. But you just, when you arrive here, you don't have any point of information where you can go in order to get this information. So we actually try to design a professional help or being a helping point for expats that arrive new to the city. And this is why we also wrote an expat survival guide actually about Bucharest.
What are the estimates on how many expats? It's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Well, you write on your homepage, for example, that you think that there are around 10,000 expats. Others write 15,000. I think there is no there are no certain data you could actually provide. I would expect to be there in somewhere steady expats, meaning living here with their families, or in between 5,000 and 10,000. But I would not underestimate the number of expats that are traveling every week and going home for the weekend here, because that's what I actually saw a lot of times, that the people are just traveling here sometimes 2-3 days doing business and then going home, which is a shame sometimes, because actually the city offers so much, and it has a different face on the weekends, because there's a lot less traffic, and there you can also appreciate the social life which is given to you here.
Now, in terms of the services that you provide, you have plans for when the economic recovery comes, I assume, and next year, plans to expand those services?
Yes, actually we did change the type of our services, meaning we now put the focus on helping newcomers in terms of providing information for free to them. We have a Bucharest survival guide, which is already online, available at citycompass.ro, which tries to give all kind of information an expat or a newcomer would need when he or she arrives in town, meaning from how to use the metro if you don't speak any Romanian, to where to get a trustworthy plumber from, until the bus system, useful links, how to navigate the city, and quality tested bars. And links where
quality tested bars. You have people
bars,
special?
Restaurants, and coffee.
Oh, okay.
No, so we try to provide also family and kids entertainment. We try to provide all kinds of aspects and facets you need as an expat. Also, if you have different wishes and needs, because some of us are single and want to come here and party a lot more in terms of entertainment. Others just want to have a nice life with their families, and they don't know what to do with their kids. So this is what we're actually trying to do, to provide expat managers plus their families with useful information through our printed guide, which will appear. The second edition of the Bucharest Survival Guide will appear in on January 15th. It is already online, plus our newsletter. So this is like our main services right now. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Well, Volker, thank you very much. Interesting slice of life here, especially as an expat, or two expats sitting
You're very welcome.
Thank you.